Hello, Professor. Here I present you my field experience report. First of all, I would like to introduce some scenario in Taiwan. The instruction in Taiwan, I would like to say, as you see from my report, most of the time the teacher they implement more, traditional instruction, and because students have to change into the different classroom, and sometimes different teacher will join the class. So teacher just stick to the fixed period of time. In the elementary school, most of the time it's 40 minutes per period. But when they upgrade to the middle school and the high school, the time will be like 45 minutes per period. And also few connections around subject areas. Maybe you teach the social study, so the teacher just focus on the social study. And when they upgrade to the middle school, the social study will divide into three parts: the citizenship, geography, and history. So in the elementary school, they just compiling together and providing some, very rough idea about the social study. And the instruction, actually, I would say is very, the road oriented. So even the assessment, usually the test just want to, figure out how much student remembered according to the text. So I would say generally it's really very conventional, and the teacher are very conservative. Okay, here's the lesson when I did observation in class. The teacher she was teaching about the people distribution. Sorry, because they use the Chinese version, the textbook. So you can see that it's a real book in Taiwan, and compared to my generation, it's more vivid. And yeah, and they will have a sidebar here. Usually it's just supplement, but I would say 95% of the teacher they still teach this part because they treat that as part of the text, content. So there is no so-called the main text and the sidebar supplements. They are all content. Okay. All right. So here, first of all, the student will see this geography of Taiwan here, the terrain here. So because the mountain, most of people, live he decide. And the teacher also mentioned about, next we see here, the death rate and the birth rate here. So you will see teacher just jotted down their note about the vocabulary, and the teacher also demonstrate how to do formula of the birth rate and the death rate. You can see here. And then 45 minutes, I would say they seldom really have some interaction. I mean, maybe the teacher brought up some question, but usually there was no time for students to think about that. And the question just want to, to motivate students to find the answer in the following content. So you can say there's no creativity, but of course some students they would bring up some very interesting answer or food for thought for the rest of the classroom. But the teacher didn't really want to respond to that problem or the idea. She just okay, that's very wonderful. Okay, let's do the next. That's it. Yeah, I'm not sure because the time limitation or because the teacher didn't know how to answer. Okay, no clue. Yeah, and most of the time when I ask the teacher about this question, not only this teacher, because when I start to do observation in Taiwan, I encounter this scenario very often. And most of the teachers say, oh, because we don't really have much time, we have to keep our schedule. So, okay. And then here are my suggestions. First of all, from my PowerPoint, you will see the link here. Is about a video talking about the Japan society now, because they are an aged society and what kind of problem there. I believe they can also bring the students some, idea about their future in Taiwan. And about the vocabulary, I would like to demonstrate how to do some research from Google. And because they can also provide them more the authentic, experience. So I will key in the people distribution, and they will see a lot of, content here, the topic here. And if they are interested in one or two, I can just click in, and they will show student what kind of, this kind of vocabulary and what kind of information relate to it in the real world. And here I also can kind of educate them about digital citizenship, of course. And then in the middle of the class, I would like to have a small group discussion. Maybe the student have to talk about when an aged society happen now, what kind of problem they will encounter. So I will provide them like a graphic organizer's idea. First of all, ask them what kind of problem will you encounter 10 years later. I would like to give them a very specific number, because they will think about for the fourth grader, 10 years later, they will be 20 years old. Maybe they are still in the college, and they will think about maybe the whole education system change that time, because the whole society needs students to graduate earlier and shoulder their responsibility. Maybe, I don't know. So maybe I think maybe they can think about that and create some unpredictable situation. And the second question, what can you do from now and why? The third one, how do you implement your plan? Of course, I will try to use a gradual release of responsibility in this writing. So I would take INSCI strategy. Okay. As I mentioned in my report, the paper report, I think this part can also bring a food for thought to my student, because they will think about now what kind of expense in their daily life. So if they really want to take some proactive action, maybe they need to adjust a little bit for the proportion. So maybe for example, entertainment is not necessary to make up so much, or they have to shrink a little bit their budget. I think that is really very important, because they can also make some connection to their real life, daily life. Okay, and then I mentioned the following day, maybe I will invite them to share their experience, their writing, and then we can elect the most feasible, doable plan, and the student can implement that for a while. So for example, they think okay, financial situation become worse and worse, so we can save money from now on, maybe just 1 cent or 1 dime per day, but they will see after 1 month how much can they save, And I think for myself to reflect the suggestion, because first of all, I try to complement with the part of authenticity. And you can see I try to infuse the technology into the lesson. About the writing I just mentioned. And why I say that is differentiated instruction, because for the writing, of course, some English language learner, maybe they can just draw. And when they have when they present, the oral leaders present their idea, maybe I can also invite the English language learner to take their own, picture, and give them some chance to speak out their mind. So I would say I would like to take a different approach for students. They can according to their own situation to comfortably to choose their own way. Okay, so here is my report. Thank you for your watching.